Unite say the situation is regrettable, but denies accusations from Lifecome Care that it had meddled in the company's operational matters, unsettling the workforce. The union says it did everything it could to ensure success, but there were problems right from the start. For its part, Lifecome claimed the government hadn't been aware of the collective agreements that were in place between Unite and the previous service providers when it took over the contract.
ADA and MEDOC, as employers of our members, signed those collective agreements with us, as we have many collective agreements with many employers across Gibraltar. And it's unfortunate that the government was not aware of them, but it wasn't something that was planned by us or anything. It just happened that they were not informed.
What exactly was the problem? Why were the workers so unhappy?
Well, there were many, many problems. And as you said, a lot of them are legacy issues. But unfortunately, they were amplified with Lifecome taking over, and our members were having many, many issues with the management of the company and the way things were run. A lot of the management was done through WhatsApp, and as you can understand, a WhatsApp with 200 plus employees, information gets lost. So a lot of services were being missed. Employees were not given the right information when servicing users.
Lifecome Care say that's because only 10% would use the app, and they also accuse Unite of getting involved in operational issues as regards the app, maybe encouraging workers not to use it. What's your response?
We never encouraged workers not to use the app. Our members had reservations about the app, and we raised those issues with Lifecome and with the care agency. The care agency had their lawyers look through the app and look through what it meant for our members to have that app in their phones, and we got back to them with some concerns over the app and its implications both in privacy for the service user and for our members, and we never got a response from that. Once again, we never told members not to download that app, but they had concerns, and we addressed those concerns with the company. In any case, the app did not reflect the correct information for the rosters or the service users, so it created more chaos when it started being introduced a couple of months ago, because the services were still being missed because of the misinformation, and it just made things worse.
Okay, you said in your press release that you now see this as an opportunity. Can I ask you, an opportunity for what? What will you be negotiating for?
We see this as an opportunity to negotiate a new collective agreement for all of the employees, so that they can be joined together as one, because we had separate collective agreements for both MEDOC and ADA, so we're looking forward to negotiating a fresh one for all of our members. And we also see it as a fresh opportunity for our members to see light at the end of the tunnel. They've had a few very difficult months where there was a lot of uncertainty over what was going to happen, and they are still a little nervous about what's coming, but we're hopeful that we will be able to work through any issues, and the transition will be smooth this time.
So just to be clear, we're talking about the same workforce, 227 carers, who will now be transferred from Lifecome Care into this new setup.
Yes, that's it would be another 2P transfer. So it would be all the current employees are now employed under Lifecome with their conditions, and everything would be transferring to the new provider. And we are hoping that we're not going to be met with the same issues of missed appointments and everything else, because once again it comes down to management. A lot of these appointments were attended by 2 carers, and a lot were missed because of this lack of communication and management issues. So we hope to avoid all of that, and so do our members.
How will you go about ensuring that those concerns are allayed, and is a potential threat still on of a strike still on the table if they're not?
Well, of course, if what we are faced with is concerning, both when we talk about operational issues and management, and that we do get involved if they're affecting, our members and their day-to-day work life. We are hopeful that this will not be the case, but if we find ourselves in that situation, then we would have to escalate matters. Strike action is always the last course of action, especially in this sector where there's a lot of vulnerable people counting on our members, which is why we haven't taken any action in the many months that we've had issues.
The Minister for Health told GBC a new provider or setup has already been identified and will be in place at the end of Lifecome's 30-day termination period. Unite says it hopes to be involved right from the start.
We want to ensure that things run smoothly once again. We are hoping to understand a little bit more what that means after next week, and our members are anxious to know what that means as well. So we will want to settle them and reassure them that we are involved and that things will go smoothly this time.